That's the thing. You don't drink. You just smell paint fumes.
I just do crafts. I'm an ambassador for spray paint.
Crafts in a confined space. That's how you
crafts,
get your highs.
No ventilation. Yes.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Patty G Show. This week we're talking flowers, we're talking uniqueness, and we're trying to really grab Netflix's attention. So without further ado, enjoy this episode of the Patty G Show, brought to you by Lakeman's Health Center and PB&J Productions. So where should we start, Amy? Should we start with your stand-up career?
Yes, and since that might fail, we're going to stick with the Flower Fest. That's a good segue. I like that. But it also is the same confidence of like, I've never done an event. Let me host a festival. Literally, there's something, like it's a syndrome, I'm sure. So there's something wrong with me. Because I really have never met anyone like me. Maybe there's a support group I don't know about that I should join, but.
So stand-up being a whim.
Yeah.
Did you have like any material prepared?
So yeah, just over that week, I thought of like funny things that I think about because really I'm constantly laughing just to get through life. And so I would like put it in my phone, like little notes. And then on the way there, I did one practice round because I thought if I do this too much, I'll overthink it and I'll try to like script it and I'll stumble over my words and they don't know what I'm trying to say. So let me just say whatever I want.
What you're trying to say.
And I also knew that I had the like kind of upper hand that this is the first time. So if I bomb, oh well. It's not like I'm trying to be awesome at this. And crowd would hopefully be supportive. But yeah, it was 5 minutes. It was a long time.
5 minutes.
It doesn't sound long. It's long.
I used to do public speaking in high school.
Yeah.
I know that 5 minutes is it's a long speech when it's not completely memorized.
Yeah.
And you're trying to do something when you're very first time doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun though. I loved it.
So was it any type of, were you playing off the crowd or was it just like a story?
Oh, there was a couple things.
What type of stand-up comedian
it was all
do you think
about,
you're going to get to?
Well, I'm definitely a storyteller.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a storyteller naturally. I feel like, I did that with my creative agency. I do that now. Mm-hmm. I'm a yapper. I like to yap. I definitely wasn't I wasn't that.
Yeah.
I mean, every little like
you didn't
time.
have dedicated jokes.
Yeah, I had like little bits that would like make the crowd laugh and also I would like ADHD it and like say like random little things that would like come out of my head because that happens. But yeah, it all kind of went together and then I tied it up with a bow at the end. It was good. It was great. But it was all like mom life,
Very relatable stuff.
Single mom life, dating stuff, gym life, all that kind of stuff.
So it was like an open mic night? Or did you have to like sign
Thankfully, and that's the thing, I even told the crowd, thankfully none of y'all paid to be here. So like if it's bad, like you could have been anywhere else and you chose to be here.
Yeah, you're here under your own accord.
Right. I don't have to give any refunds. So no, it was fine.
That's good.
Yeah, and it was at the station, and so I know Emily through the Flower Fest, so I was like, hey, y'all do stand-up? I'm going to come. Yeah.
And so you're just like, let me just get out of my comfort zone even more?
I don't think I have a comfort zone, because people are always saying, like, get out of it. I'm like, what? All of life is me winging it and just going up on stage and doing something I haven't ever done before. So it was like, but when I say that, I felt this confident, as I'm being right now, until they said my name, and I could feel that, like, artery just like do and I'm like, okay, if this is what takes me out, if this is where I have a heart attack, like, oh my gosh. But it went fine.
And it was just something you just wanted to do, or was it like
I think I've always wanted to be like do comedy, but like my life went a different way and like I just don't think that really would pay the bills. So I just make my friends laugh, make myself laugh, whatever, make my kids laugh. And then I went that Wednesday night. So 2 Wednesday nights I went and I watched everyone do it. I'm like, I could do that. I'll do that.
Were they any good?
Yeah, they were really good. And they're all different kinds. Like there's the storyteller kinds. There's the one guy gets up there with little note cards and they're hilarious little one-offs that I guess he thinks of during the week. And they're kind of all over the place. But yeah, I mean, they were like high-fiving me.
Reads them and like throws them into the crowd.
Yeah,
like, here's my zinger.
Yeah. He drops them a lot. That's for sure. It was funny. But yeah, they were telling me I did a great job and like come back. And then this other person said come to his place in Mid-City. So like, yeah. But this one guy got me really nervous in the beginning because he was like, it's International Women's Month. Are there any female comedians going tonight? And I went, woo. And he's like, wait, you're funny? And I'm like, I mean, y'all made it look easy last week. Figure why not? And he's like, well, you better be funny. So when I first kind of was starting, maybe like the first minute in, I made him laugh really big. And I was like, I'll Venmo you after. Not so loud, like calm down. But so we kind of went back and forth. I would love to do more of the crowd work. I think that quick-wittedness has always been something I have. But no, it was really fun. It really was.
So, and just like your comedic career, where you're like, let me just kick this off the ground.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've done so many things. It was definitely one of those, like, I haven't done that on a bucket list kind of thing. Why not? And if, like I said, if it goes bad, like, I don't know half the people in this room. It'll be fine.
That's true, though. At least you don't know everybody in the room.
No, I didn't. And they didn't pay. So really low expectations. So honestly, it was a win-win for me.
But I feel like stand-up comedy is not something that everybody has on their bucket list because you are putting yourself out there so much. And like, you're not getting up there giving this stoic speech, you know, and everybody that's been to a rehearsal dinner and has had to give a speech, it's mostly either written or liquid enhanced speech.
Oh, and that was one thing I told them too. I'm like, and y'all, I don't drink. I'm going to remember all of this. So I need y'all to be supportive. Okay. It's not like I'm up here with like liquid courage. So that was one of my first like opening things.
That was your opening bit.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I'm a sober comedian.
Yeah. I was like, I've always had the like whole confidence of a drunk white man my whole life, but I'm not. So let's see how this goes.
I'm here for it.
And they buckled up. They went in for the ride. So yeah.
I love it.
I know. I'll be doing too much though.
So, and then you've got this thing you started how many years ago now?
We're 5. Well, yeah, 2021 was our first year. And that was the same thing. I mean, I had the idea, got a couple friends, and like 45 days later, we put on a whole festival. Okay.
So let's back it up. Let's back the truck up. All right. So 2021.
Yeah.
You just had this.
Well, because like.
What sparked the idea for the Flower Fest?
So like, you know, when we were all watching Netflix every day, all day because of COVID, we had nothing better to do. And you got to like started suggesting really out there shows because it was just running out.
Yeah. So, that was a point.
So I, after like Tiger King, right, I went and watched this thing called The Big Flower Fight. And I had never seen, it was a competition. I'd never seen flowers, like things built out of flowers. I'd just seen them at weddings, funerals, you know, Valentine's Day, that kind of stuff. But seeing like giant T-Rex and like big outfits and floral fashion, I was really blown away. And I had just met some florists at an event and they were talking about like how they're like bringing flowers to nursing homes. They're bringing it because it's like like they have to like harvest the crops. Like it's just, they got to do something with these flowers and there were no events. So because of COVID, they needed something to do with these flowers. And I'm like, why don't we do an event, like a whole festival and we make stuff out of flowers? And a lot of people said, yeah, that sounds fun. So we did it. And, you know, just like the comedy thing, I was like, I've never done this before, but it looks easy. Like, you know, for an event, you got to have a place, time, you got to have some people who want to come, you got to market it. And luckily there was like no competition. There was nothing else going on.
Wait, so there were no events.
We were like the first event. So like the governor literally said April 1 that like you can have stuff. And our event was like that 3rd, 4th, somewhere around there. So like.
Wait. So you're telling me you already had this plan before the.
So, okay.
What's the statute? Hang on, before we go, what's the statute of limitations?
I will say, so it was an outdoor event. And so we had the fire people come, like, you know, you have people, what are they called?
Fire marshal?
Yeah. Fire marshal came out there and he's like, well, you have acres and acres of space. So if everyone needs, it was like 30 something feet or whatever. He's like, you can have this many people here. And I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll do that. So we were already running on the fact that like people could wear masks. It would be outdoors. And it was a year after COVID. Like people were starting to like get really antsy and like, just give me anything. Like I'm ready to be out of my house. People were doing like pop-up workouts and stuff like outside.
Oh, yeah.
People were doing stuff. They were just spreading out. So I was like, we can spread out, have some flowers. And people did wear some masks. There was a few, but like it kicked off right when the governor said it was okay. And we were like, yes, of course it is okay. Shh, it's fine.
Yeah. We planned it in 4 days.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, that was great. And like seeing so many people, like the check-in line just wrapped and people so happy to just do anything and see anyone and be out of their house. I thought it was just going to be like a 1-year thing, like, you know, and then everyone's like, y'all are doing this next year, right? And I'm like, sure. So it just became a thing where now we have a whole program and like, we know what to do. And it's just really beautiful. And we've added so much each year. We've added something new. So that way, if people have come before and they're not bored, the theme changes every year.
Yeah.
So I kind of apply like my marketing brain to it. So even though I hadn't done events before, I knew like consumer psychology and like what helps. So the first year we just had everyone build beautiful things. And then I realized we're all innately selfish and want to be a part of something. And if you put me in the flowers, like if you make these floral things immersive. So like the second year was out of this world. We had like a moon you could stand in, you know, so we had like a black hole you could walk through. So adding that made it where now it went like viral. Everyone was taking photos and became their Instagram, backdrops, all that kind of stuff, because the person who comes to the event gets to become a part of the event. So that was what we learned for the first year. It was like, everything's beautiful and people are taking pictures, but if we really want to make this have the impact, it needs to be that you become a part of it.
So the first year, you just had like just these backdrops of flowers. And...
there were still things that were built up. So like we had a state capitol that was made with 8,000 daisies. 8,000? Yeah.
Well, I guess it's COVID. Daisy. You got nothing to do.
They were just literally, and they were like, but you got to think about it too. These are real flowers.
So where are you finding these vendors?
So
who do you call? Like, do you just have your Rolodex? Like just,
I'm not even a florist. So I called a florist and they were like, this is who you get to. So her name was Diane. She's out of New Orleans, Fat Cat Flowers. And she's like, I know exactly who to call. And think about it. They didn't have weddings. These florists were like itching for something to do. So the first year, we had like 9 participants. It was so easy. We've now gotten to where the sweet spot's like 5, but it was so easy for them to say yes, because we were like, look, we'll pay for the flowers. We've got the space. We know people will come. You just get to build whatever you want. And think about it. Usually a florist has got a budget they got to stick in within. The client or the bride wants a certain thing. They're not allowed to just be as creative as they want.
So this was just a creative outlet to put their flower shop on display.
That's pretty much what it is. Okay. It's like a win for everyone. Like the community and all of us get tourism. We get, like I said, all these new Instagram pictures, you get all that. The people that are a part of it get to support St. Jude, get their name out there and stretch their like creative freedom, and they live like forever on our website. Like we want this to be something like that, 10 years down the road, people are like so proud that they were like a part of it. And like, yeah, I was one of those competing florists this year or that year, kind of like a jazz fest. Like when were you there kind of a thing.
So you got these competing florists and what do they get?
High five. No, they don't get any money because we get the money to St. Jude, but no.
Right. Like that's what I mean. Like, so they're competing for something.
Yeah. Just, I think to be in a competition with this level of like your peers. We had someone from Los Angeles come in last year and compete. Like it's getting to be a thing that people want to show off. And even if they just do it one year to say they did it, but we have a fan favorite. So people walk through and they vote whichever one's their fan favorite. And then afterwards we do an Instagram worthy. So whichever one really blew up on, social media. And, they all get a plaque. They all get that recognition, but I think they're doing it for the right reasons. They're giving up a weekend during like wedding season, so it's, they get the feel goods of helping St. Jude. They get to stretch their creative freedom. They get all of that media and, publicity and the photography. We give them all of that. And some of them come back year after year. The guy who's our floral lead this year, he's done it every single year. And like half the time he was winning. So finally he's like, okay, look, how about I lead this year? And so he's the one that helps.
I'm just too good.
No, okay? He really is.
Too good to compete.
He's so creative. But I'm not a florist. So I have to have someone like Diane was for years, like lead the florist. So like place all their orders, tell them, hey, look, that's a great flower, but that's not going to be something we can get donated, or like that's not going to hold up in the sun for that long. They've just done it a while. They know, and like help them build out their structures and make sense of the whole thing. Because as creative as I am, I do know when I have no absolute clue what I'm talking about.
Right.
And when it comes to flowers, I still don't. I don't know if I ever will, because I'm focused on what I'm good at, which is the marketing of it, the creative side, the laying it out, the experience part. And I just have solid florists that step up to the plate,
And so that first year, why'd you pick St. Jude?
So I am definitely a dreamer when it comes to everything. And I might be in it right now, but I'm thinking 5, 10, because obviously I hope things work and pay off and do well. So I knew that if we went completely just local, as great as that would be, if your family's coming in and making this like a weekend, or you've got someone like that, money doesn't go to anything they might even recognize. Right. And so if I want to have big names eventually sponsor this, if I want to have it where maybe we have a flower fest of the Gulf South, we have a flower fest, New England. If we ever want to do that, I don't want to have different charities it's linked to. St. Jude is the whole country. It is something people already recognize. And I was creating something that no one recognized. No one knew what the Flower Fest was. heck, I don't know what was going to be.
You made it up.
I literally made it up. And I was still like, I don't know how this is going to go. I hope this flower survives. So we have that. I knew it needed some backing. And so having St. Jude meant that kind of like stand up. You know, if it sucks, you didn't pay to be here. And if the flowers all died, like, hey, you donated to St. Jude. You know, no one was going to be like, fight me on it. Mm-hmm. So we had like a little bit of I wouldn't even say pushback, but we had people asking, like, as it was growing, like year 2 and 3, like, why don't y'all do this or why don't you do that? And it's like Baton Rouge is already a huge philanthropy town. And there are so many events you can choose to go to. And so we didn't want to compete with something that was already happening. And we have an affiliate clinic here. Like we have that many kids at St. Jude that we have to have like a wing at Our Lady of Lake Children's Hospital. And like that says something. And we even have one, I think it's Shreveport. Like we have 2 in our state. Like if you go to St. Jude, you can find where the hospitals are. And Louisiana has multiple. And it's because we are like Cancer Alley, you know? So I feel like it's a really smart cause that has just so much like backing and people know what it is. And it's such an ugly thing, childhood cancer. So to like juxtapose that with beautiful flowers, I think is just a really cool thing. And this year we're doing something new. So, you know how I said we're going to do new things every year? This year we're doing a big St. Jude tent and all St. Jude patients, their families can get in free. And that way it's like it becomes something for them to celebrate together. And I think that will be even cooler.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like seeing the people that this literally helped save on site, running around playing. And even one of our honorees this year, she went to St. Jude and survived cancer and is now helping raise money. Like talk about come like full circle. So, yeah, I mean, I never knew it would be this big, but it is something that like I eat, sleep, breathe, kind of obsessed with it if you can't tell, you know, I love it.
Oh yeah. And it's worth it too, right? You know,
yeah.
you've got that give back, feel good mentality with the whole thing and everybody's on board.
Yeah. Well, and I think I went to like a leadership academy where they test you on all these different things. And one of the like out of 0 or 100 was the, you know, wanting to help. And mine was like 100. And even like back when I had an agency, sometimes I would want things more than my clients wanted them, or I would just start giving stuff away services wise because I knew it would work. Mm-hmm. And that would come and like bite me on the butt sometimes. And like I couldn't turn that gene off that I just like helping people. And sometimes I'll even have good ideas and I just like DM the company and just be like, here, go do this because I want you to succeed, or like, hey, you should do this or do that, or have you thought about but with the Flower Fest, I can get that out and all it does is make beautiful stuff. It's not, I don't feel like, oh, I should have charged them, or, oh, why am I doing this? You know, I feel like it's created a community for creative people. It's created a space for people to volunteer. We've just started this year doing these flower crown like craft days. And so people just come and build flower crowns and we'll sell them at the festival. And so it's like people just, as long as you aren't scared of a hot glue gun, like show up. And we've had 3 of those. And it's so neat knowing these like strangers come together, do something, and then leave, and they're not strangers anymore, you know? So it's definitely bigger than anything I could have imagined.
So the first year when you did it, did you have the honorees in mind?
No. So the first year we didn't even have honorees. So like I said, it changed every year. So the first year was just, let's just put this thing on and do it.
Just have people come out, look at flowers.
That was it. Now, yeah. And we had a few food trucks.
Was there a dress code or?
So the first year I didn't get crazy with the theme. It was like kind of Bridgerton style. It was Louisiana Promenade. So it was just like, come spend the day. And all the things were based on Louisiana. So we had like it was like a spill kind of bird. What's that? Kind of looks like a flamingo, but it's not. Anyway, for people that are smart with animals, it's some kind of bird with a bill. I don't remember what a spoonbill. I think that's it. Might not be. Maybe delete this part. But that one was beautiful.
Spoonbill.
Yeah, it's like this pink looking like flamingo pelican bird. That one was really cool. So they all tied in. There was like a big crawfish bag thing. They were all really Louisiana themed, which was awesome. And so, but I knew like we got to change the theme every year. So we changed the theme. We had a fun theme year 2, which was out of this world. So it was all like planets and aliens and really cool stuff.
So in year 1, you had food trucks too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In year 2, we had a market. So we made it where, because I kept trying to like grow monetarily, like in our donation. And I thought, well, even if we have the same amount of attendees, it'll always be the same. So we need to add money making. So we added the market. And so you have to either sell flowers or like floral things made out of flowers, things that look like flowers, or go with our theme. So like last year we had Once Upon a Dream. It was all like fairy tales and stories and books. So we had like a book booth they wouldn't make sense this year at Under the Sea, but like it keeps our variety and our market up because each year the theme changes, we can have different people. So, and what's really cool is that every dollar you spend, 20% of that goes to the cause. So then people shop more because they're like, I was thinking about buying these earrings. Yeah, I'll come get them at your studio whenever. And they maybe don't ever go and they forget. They want to buy it right then and there because they know that a little bit of it's going back to St. Jude. So our vendors usually are happy because they're like, I make the most money at the Flower Fest. I love it. But it's also like people are all hopped up on like flower dopamine. There's like flowers everywhere. Why wouldn't you want to buy a resin painting made out of flowers or whatever? So second year was that. We added the market
out of this world.
And then third year was again, I'm like, well, what else can I do to add more money? So we did honorees. And like, I feel so bad because it was all my friends that I just like spam texted and was like, will y'all do this?
Can y'all please do this? So what was an honoree at the time? So
the honorees the first year, I'm pretty sure it was like maybe $2,500 they had to raise. Like I didn't go too crazy with it. But they still got like honored at the gala. They got on our social media and our website.
Wait, there was a gala?
So it kicks off with the gala.
Okay.
Yeah. Cause like, like if you're asking people for lots of money to like support something like sponsors, I can't like just put like a sign in the ground. Like no one's going to, so to get to the level of like money, I need to put this thing on. We needed like good sponsors, and sponsors love galas. Like they love to show out. They want to see their name on like a presentation. So we kick it off the first night with a gala.
So did you have a gala the first year?
Uh-huh.
Okay, you totally missed the gala part.
Yeah.
All right. So where's the gala at?
So it's at the same place. So you're the first people to see everything. So that's like an extra buy-in.
Okay. Got it.
So like you can be the first ones on Instagram sharing everything, all of that. It's also a way to thank these florists who gave all their time. And then the honorees, thank them. And then we also announce our St. Jude child. So each year and this was something that came after the first year, because at the first year, I really felt like everyone forgot it was a benefit, which is great. They were there spending money, but like it was kind of detached from St. Jude, which is beautiful. But like, unless you read the fine print, you might not have even known it was a benefit. Mm-hmm. So at the second year, I was like, we're going to announce a St. Jude child, and we will bring them back every single year at the gala and watch them grow, and it'll be beautiful, and people will remember what this is about. So our first year was Mavis, and what is so beautiful about it is she like remembers me. She remembers our people. Like we've had honorees that have stayed in touch. Like they just make these connections with these kids. So we had her the first year, and every year. So at the gala, we announced that kid. It's kind of like, it's very Mardi Gras where you're like the kid, like the king for the year kind of a thing. So they like reign all year round, and we kind of update people with their like follow-up visits, share their story. And, Cruz is actually the one. So Cruz from last year's, when we announced him, he's the one that was like shared with his mom, like all growing up, his identity was St. Jude. Because I'm pretty sure it was like 6 years or something. It was a really long time that he battled cancer. And so in remission, obviously he's super happy, but he doesn't know as much, like it doesn't feel the same. Right. So to have something that's like this really cool event he can look forward to, he can do photo shoots throughout the year, he can do promos, he gets to like still stay kind of connected more to St. Jude. And so when he said that, I'm like, well, what if we did like a whole tent, and like businesses who want to get in at like a lower level of sponsorship can just donate swag or like give us cookies for these kids or games or whatever. And then that's like a special area just to celebrate them, So he's the reason we have that now.
Okay.
Yeah. But so yeah, the gala is also where people dress like it's wild, and I love it.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Like, I've seen all these photos of people just dressed ridiculous.
And some people dress like that at the festival. There's literally we don't have rules.
So I was about to say, so you're not telling people to dress like, they're just like.
They see a theme and run with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we had people last year, there was a lot of elves because of the Once Upon a Dream. There are a lot of Cinderellas. But we ham it up. Like, there's no client with this. So if I have an idea, like unless somebody in the committees or board tells me that's terrible, don't do that. We just do it.
It's you.
Yeah. So last year's theme, the Once Upon a Dream, I had a few of my friends, like my really tall friend Jackson. I was like, can you go around with this glass slipper and pretend in the check-in line to like find your Cinderella? He said, yeah, did it. We had Sarah Rath, who's been a big fan of the festival. She made a light up dress and she was the fairy godmother, just bippity bopping and booing people. And like some people I don't even know, but I've now become friends because of this. And they're like, what am I doing this year? Or how can I help? And it's just created this whole cool thing. And so this year, for the cool thing to happen during check-in, it's Under the Sea theme this year.
Okay.
And the Greater Baton Rouge Area Children's Choir, how adorable, and I say that 3 times fast. That is going to be so adorable. They reached out to us and they're going to be singing like a cappella, like the Under the Sea, all that kind of music during check-in, like holding little fish, being so cute. Because the check-ins are really long, like block. I don't know what you call it, a little strip. And there's all these photo ops so you can do stuff while you're waiting to get checked in. But it's going to be the cutest little music. It is so cute. And that's like, it obviously won't happen the next year. And like those little elements keep it fun. And like, I think people look forward to like, what are they going to do new this year? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So
I'm yapping. I'm talking so much. You can like edit half of this out.
This is what it's supposed to be, Amy.
You sure?
This is the Amy show.
Because this is your podcast.
No, this is the Amy show. This is exactly what's supposed to happen.
Okay, well, like, I mean, I said I love this thing.
No, this is fantastic. You can hear in your voice the passion behind it all.
Well, and especially you doing this right before, like I told you, my car is full of flowers right now. So like my house too, my garage, we actually got a storage unit this year, but I'm not going to use it until after the festival. But yeah, I mean, it's become something that like I'm already thinking of next year's theme, thinking of cool things we can do. It's hard to turn it off.
Sounds like you need like a Climate Store sponsorship over here.
Oh my God.
You need them to sponsor like a climate controlled storage unit.
I would love that. Because my garage sure ain't. It's not. Every time I open it, I still smell like the spray paint I did on some coral stuff. Because I'm trying to make things that aren't coral reef look like coral reef. Because like I can't afford coral reef. So we got to like fake it. But that's a lot of fumes every time I open the garage. And that was weeks ago. I'm like, when is this going to go away? I don't know.
The garage is just like all of a sudden turning into, Under the Sea.
Right. Or like, why is mom in the garage so much? She's just smelling stuff in there. I don't know.
That's the thing. You don't drink. You just smell paint fumes.
I just do crafts. I'm an ambassador for spray paint.
Crafts in a confined space. That's how you
crafts,
get your highs.
No ventilation. Yes.
Walk in there. You're not wearing the mask or anything. You're
wimps.
just like, this is great.
You get way more creative when you can't fully think. I mean, 100%. Who needs oxygen?
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
Your creative juices are flowing,
Yeah. I know. But yeah, so this year I'm going to help. So last year we had someone that like they had said they were going to do something and they couldn't do it. So then I was like, I can do that. Again, that drunken
you're just taking stuff
like,
on.
It's fine.
You're just like, I've got all the time in the world. I'm doing nothing.
I have none. But like I said, morning and night person, so I can just do whatever.
When do you sleep? When do you stop?
I actually do sleep pretty well. But I made the front entrances that were out of books. So we had some libraries donate all these books and I like nailed them to it and they put moss and it was really cool. But then I was like, but I like doing that. Can I have something I do? So for Jerry Lane's Cadillacs this year, we're going to have coral spilling out. So I'm making all the coral. So it's going to be so cool.
They're parking Cadillacs.
Yeah, so they're parking some Cadillacs and we're going to have some really cool uplighting. And yeah, it's going to be like spilling out for like people to take photos with the cool car and like all the coral. Yeah, it'll be fun.
So you just had to get your hands on something else.
Yeah, pretty much.
Will there ever be a year you're like, I'm just running the show. I'm doing no prep
So
work.
I will say this year in May, I'm actually sitting down with everyone and we are making an operations manual because before that, it's just all in my head. And like,
so there's no operations manual you have from like year to year? Not even just like a book of notes?
So we have our spreadsheets that everyone like, there's tabs and we keep it. So then we reference that from last year. But yeah, no, there's a lot that just lives in my head and like a million tabs. And so we can't do that because I have thought like, what if I need to go out of town or I'm sick or I can't, like the show would be kind of, crazy.
You need like a dictaphone.
What?
A dictaphone. You just talk into it and it transcribes everything. So you're like, okay, next year do this. Next year do that. You know, something you just have in like your pocket and you just talk into. Yeah,
well, luckily I have a lot saved on my phone. So I do have that.
Like and voice memos or something.
Yeah. That's smart. But we are going to meet. And so we're going to go through all my emails. We're going to go through like every little thing, almost like you would like a franchise and make all the systems to putting this on in case I were to like not be here.
Yeah. So clearly this is like a registered 501c3.
Yeah, it is. Somebody did the paperwork. Remember I said I'm not all about that. There was paperwork. It was turned in. Someone's handling that. We do have an accountant. I don't do any of that. I'm just like, what do you need? And I'll turn it in.
It's like, here are the ideas. Let's
I mean, clearly I'm not the spreadsheet girl. I'm like the right brain, like dreamer, La La Land, Deluluville. Yeah. But it's good to be here because like I said, I can come up with things. So like we have something cool this year. We have an interactive one where you can change it to make it like match how you want. I won't give all the way the details.
What do you mean you can change it?
You'll have to see. But like I teamed up with Mark Fresh and Oh Hey Creations. And I was like, this is what I want to make. Can we make it? And they're like, I mean, I guess we can. I'm like, okay, cool. So like, why not?
Killing me, Smalls.
Imagine if it had like a really huge. So this year we do have a title sponsor finally. So we got Capital Wellness to come in. They do so much with kids with pain management. So it was really like it made sense, like synergy wise. But I'm like, I've been thinking like, okay, imagine if I had like big money to like really, because I still sometimes I'm like, okay, I see something I like and I want to do it, but like how, like making the coral in my garage, like how can I make it, or who can I bring into this that would want to participate and help us create something. So by year 10, though, it's like we're going to have, you know, I think hopefully like a nationwide, like a Home Depot or like a Lowe's, someone who has like a gardening section to be like a big sponsor, I think.
So are people donating flowers or are people donating money to pay for
So
flowers?
Louisiana Wholesale Florist has been our floral sponsor year 1 till now. Like they show up so much. So there's different things. So there's people that can donate in kind and they're like, here's our candles, or here, use our tent. Here's some furniture. And that has been huge because every time someone gives us an in-kind thing, we don't have to spend money. So you're really giving money to St. Jude at that point. So we have a ton of those. And then we have people that write checks. And so if you write a check for $10,000 or more, we build something based on your brand. So like last year was the Once Upon a Dream. So Weiler Plastic Surgery had a like Sleeping Beauty install. Like I made it make sense. So like I would go after things or like clients that I thought this would be a smart partnership. And then they get people taking pictures and all this cool content with their logo in the back. Whereas if I put a stick in the ground that said your logo, like people were walking right past that. Like think of all the events, you just don't even look at it.
It's just a sticker. Nobody wants to. The idea behind it is to get that further impression beyond the event.
And make memories. So if you make something about me and it's memorable, I'm going to remember you. So if my new profile pic has a Weiler Plastic Surgery logo in it, it's like placed in my stem, like of my brainstem, you know? So that to me is much better marketing than just writing a check and being on like a PowerPoint slide.
Yeah. It's like all those restaurants having really cool bathrooms.
Yes. Making selfies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
make a selfie moment.
Thank you to our wonderful sponsor, Lake Men's Health Center with Our Lady of the Lake Physicians Group. Guys, I know it's tough to get out and go to the doctor. I know it's challenging to find time in our busy days, but I promise you, signing up to be a part of this group with Dr. Curtis Chastain and Dr. Tyler Boudreau, you won't regret it for several reasons, but most of those being the fact of the time it saves, where you're able to get in on the same day, get that appointment done, and spend that time you need to talk with them about what your health goals and concerns are, as well as ensuring that the financial investments you have, you will be able to live out and see those come to fruition. So if you're an investing guy, you know all about and planning for the future and investing in the future. There's no other more important thing to invest in than your health. Make sure you go check them out. Our Lady of the Lake Physicians Group Men's Health Center, and tell them Patty G sent you.
This year we have a really cool one. And like, I think some of my comedy comes into play, or at least being able to make connections, because these people reached out and I was like, how am I going to make a hospice like fun? Like, I don't know how I can make this cool. Luckily they had a couple other brands together, like a conglomerate, but like one of their brands was like a health kind of. And so I was like, an octopus with a treasure chest, treasure your health. There we go. Done. $10K, wrote the check. It was great. Cause like,
and it works.
Yeah. And it works. Like last year we had Humpty Dumpty for Baton Rouge Clinic because it's like better together. You see what I did there? I'm telling you, I get to use all these skills. Mad skills.
You were like built to just do this flower fest.
Yeah. It's just, I think I just BS really quickly. I don't know, but it's creative, so it works.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, it's not your generic type of marketing, your generic type of paid partnership. It's not your generic branding. It's so out there and so different. And like, it fulfills the whole Flower Fest mission. Is like, yeah, we're meant to be out there. We're meant to be different.
Yeah.
Which is
not your grandma's gala. Not any of that.
Right. You know, you're not coming here and it's going to be, okay, here's a dozen, you know, roses and this and that. It's like, no, like this was built off of COVID hallucinations.
Literally desperate times create amazing things. Yeah. And so, and there's people that too will come, like they'll fly down to come to this thing. And it still blows my mind. I think it was like year 3. Somebody was texting me. I was boarding my plane and someone just came in from like Canada and was talking about the Flower Fest or something. And I was like, shut up. No, they weren't. She was like, no, for real. And it's like, that is wild. And we're just this little baby. Like, imagine in like years to come. Like, I think the first year people didn't think we would do it again. They're like, that was cool. And like, we keep doing it and keep adding new elements and growing it. Like, this is the first year we really have like billboards all over. And they just started like last week from like New Orleans to Lafayette, just billboards everywhere. And that's because we have this title sponsor. Like, we really have been word of mouth marketing from like Jump Street. So I hope that brings even more people. I mean, we average anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 in a weekend, but like,
and it's a 1 weekend event.
And it's acres of space. So like, we could have more.
Well, so is it multiple days that people can go? So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
So Friday's gala only. Saturday and Sunday, you pick your day to come. Everything's the same. So you can come either day, whatever day works for you. And the reason why I did that, because the first year people were like, why do we have to do Sunday too? And I'm like, let me tell you why. Because everyone's going to be posting on Saturday. They're going to be all in their stores. And then people are going to, where's that? I want to go. So our first year, we might have had like 750 on Saturday. On Sunday, it was like 2,000 people. And it's because they see all of it and hurry up. Oh, I can go today. Let me go.
Yeah.
So we won't lose the Saturday, Sunday thing because it's smart. I mean, the flowers are already there. They're not going anywhere. Might as well.
Get your use out of them.
Yeah. And then I think the food trucks and the vendors like it. They're already parked. They're good. And they make 2 days worth of money, you know?
So when does this become a Netflix series?
The behind the scenes.
That's what I'm saying.
Really
like the behind,
cool.
I'm thinking like GBB over here.
I love
Great British Breaking Show. Like
watching. So like, so next week I'm going 2 days to Eric at B's wedding. So he's our floor lead. The one that I said is just amazing. So I'm helping him make that giant octopus. I'm going to bring my coral stuff and kind of like make sure I'm not making it too weird. But the behind the scenes that these, like last year we had a bed that was like floating because it was like they took the Once Upon a Dream as like literal dreams and it was floating and the quilt on the bed was like little bitty baby flowers. Like how cool. And like to watch that would be insane.
Like I'm just thinking of watching people every year over year create these outlandish things.
Yeah.
And develop all this stuff behind the scenes and then assemble it on there. And then like you could have somebody going through and like, you know, kicking little stands down to make that element of like suspense. Like, oh no, it's broken. We got to rebuild this.
Like,
you know, it's like
home hunters when it's like, you know, they've already picked the one, but they're like, we don't know. We need to mull it over.
Exactly.
Like, no.
You know, it's like you got to build in a little bit of
those
drama.
Things happen. We've had like, I mean, believe me, there's been some like, whoops, that didn't last or that fell over or.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you got somebody there filming the whole thing, like there is a
or me like crying.
I
always, you're guaranteed I'm going to cry at some point. It's just because I'm really tired. So you said like, how do I have energy? This is me on like a really good, happy, hopped up day. It did some cool stuff. But like I start kind of coming on site like Wednesday and like do some run throughs with people. Thursday I'm there all day and I'm building stuff now. And then Friday they always want to do a news thing where it's the 5 o'clock, the 6 and the 7. So that means I also can't leave. I can't just do it one and be whatever done. I'm up since like 4 a.m. on Friday. And then I go all the way through the gala till like 1 or 2 once we're done cleaning up. And then the fest is Saturday. So by Sunday, I'm usually like just hugging everyone, crying and like
you've got to have a bed over there at this point. They got to just let you sleep on site.
I wish. So there was an Airbnb that was on site at Point Marie that I would go to because it was like literally on site. So if something happened, I could just run outside and fix it. But I haven't figured out this year where I'm going to go.
You got to talk to LaBerge. Give you a room.
That would be great.
Something.
LaBerge. That would be awesome. I would love it.
Like just something.
Well, so the Renaissance is doing all of our floors. So we do take care of our florists. They're all set. But I don't know. I don't like asking for things. I'm weird. I'll ask for everybody else. But like for me, I'm like, I'm fine. I can sleep in my car. I'll be fine. Haven't done that yet. I'm sure that's coming. But
so then you need an RV World to come out there and put you a camper.
That would be legit because they have the new RV thing right by it. The little tiger trails. I would love that.
See, I'm just
nice. You're a great
just throwing out some ideas here.
Just tag all of these people in the post, like just so like slide in. But I am a shoot your shot girl, so I don't mind. Like I will slide up in anybody. So Landon Talks was one of our hosts last year at the gala, and he's like a hilarious comedian on Instagram. And I just slid in his DMs and said, hey, if you're not doing anything, this would be really cool if you wanted to come. And it was like before he got as famous as he is now. He just released a book. But like he was like, I would love to come. Landon Talks. So what he does is he creates this whole content around these silly Southern sayings that we have. and just he went viral and he's continued it. He was a school teacher, no longer. He gave that up. He goes and does like stand up, and he's just, it's so wholesome and sweet, but it's all true. Like all the bless your hearts and all the like what these sayings mean. And some of them I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. But yeah, I mean, he's hilarious. So we had him last year, and that was just because
who's the host this year?
So we also always have Victoria and Victoria Armstrong. She's with Curate. And then we had Jody Johnson, who's like a local creative like celeb. So we're going to have them again, but we're not Landon's book tours the same weekend, so he can't come. So, and also like we found that our gala is a party. Like if you talk too much, nobody's listening. They're like dancing on the dance floor. They're getting their drinks made out of flowers or whatever. They're taking photos. Like I think our average age is like 37, 38 for a gala or gala, however you say it. You know, it's not like people are there to have fun. So we've kind of trimmed our presentation down a lot.
Yeah, you're like, all right, here are the slides and we're done.
Yep, pretty much. Like, and support St. Jude, drink up. Goodbye.
Yep, have a good time.
Because the more they're drinking, 20% of that goes to the cause. So we like, your tickets get you 2 free drinks right when you first get there. So you can go get your beer, your wine. Those are your freebies. There's always a welcome drink. So when you come in, there's like, we give you that. And then we want you to have that like as you're like walking around and touring everything. And then you can go get in line. But like last year, we tried this VIP ticket and then everyone was VIP. And so then no one was VIP. And it was just, ugh. So like we just keep things simple. It's been simple for years and people all have a good time. So let's just do that. But yeah, we have a band. It's Pants Party.
Pants Party.
You've never heard? So they dress up in really cool outfits. So I'm thinking one is going to be a scuba diver. I'm pretty sure. No, they're awesome. So they're like all them like kind of like mixed nuts. Like they're just the great party band. So we have them. We have a few games. You know, we have tattoos. Like, so this, I don't know if you can see it. This, oh, I can't get it up. It's because, okay, when I worked out this morning,
you just swelled up.
I hate it because I was trying to do legs, but I can't grip. I have weak hands, and so I'll tap out because my forearms are sore. But you can kind of see it. So
it's
that,
a flower, yeah,
I got that last year at our festival. So we have real tattoos that people can get at the festival, and so many people were like in our DMs, like, "Why didn't you have this at the gala?" So we're gonna have a tattoo artist doing like tiny ones, like they do at weddings, at the gala too. So, like I said, we are
stepping up every year.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this has a Netflix series written all over it.
Right. And then maybe I'll get diagnosed because then it's like the nation that can say like, what's wrong with me to make me this way.
No, I think they'll be like, this is great. We love this person. Who is this personality? Who is this character?
Yeah, it's definitely a character.
Yeah, but I mean, that will get your national attention, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I need all that, but I would love for, because
and every year you just shorten the time you give the florist to prepare stuff, just unnecessarily.
Like that grocery store like contest.
It's like first time you get 2 months, prepare your thing. Now it's like, okay, by year 10, you're like, all right, guys, you have a week.
And
go.
It's like, or like you just have just an aisle of flowers, and they just got to run and grab. There's like the that show. What is the show where they can't?
Like Top Chef.
Yeah, but what's the one where they're really bad? Nailed It. That was so great. You haven't watched Nailed It?
No.
Nailed It is the best show ever. So it's people who are bad at baking. Right. And they show them the really good version and they're like, ready, go. And then they're like, I can't even figure, okay, enough flour. And they're and what's great, the best part is when the judges are like biting and they're like
a little spit bucket.
And they're
to the
like
side.
literally choking. And they're like, did you put any butter? And they're like,
what's butter?
Right. And that's the best show. And like showing the reveal of how bad it looks. That would be fun. Because I think if we got to that level, we would have like a complete amateur one too. Where like, you're not even a florist. You're just like me, overly confident, think you can do it. Have at it. So that way everyone's is beautiful. And then there's one that's just like leaning over. All the flowers are dead by Sunday. Okay.
I think that would be great. It's like a built by the crowd sculpture. Where people walk in and grab like a flower or something. It's like your contribution to the sculpture.
That. So we did something last year. So last year in the kids zone, we had the logo. So it was all painted all around and the logo was left blank and the kids could take their fingers and finger paint in the logo. And then that painting went to the St. Jude Hospital.
I love it.
So like we've thought of
you do that on a grander scale.
Yeah. I like the grab a flower and like make it because we could use silk flowers. That way it lasts forever. And so it could be something that we like make and go somewhere.
You have something, it can either go somewhere or you give it away to whatever.
Yeah, you could be like, donate
your title sponsor
something
gets
and it's like
your
a raffle.
Title sponsor.
They're like, don't even want it. And they're and like, here, this is for your lobby. It's a 300-foot dinosaur made by the festival attendees. It's going to look great.
This goes in, fit this in the back of the Cadillac,
right.
you know?
But they do. So the title sponsor, I was just actually on that call today. They're getting their logo made out of flowers, but they'll be silk so they can keep them and put it in like their waiting room or something. Cause like that's what Weiler did. Like we made them a logo and lit it up and all kinds of cool stuff. And then it went to their office. So, yeah, I mean, I love that idea of making like letting the people build something kind of like paint by numbers, you know, like maybe these flowers go here. But like, I'll save that for next year.
Don't give them too much direction.
No, you want it to bomb?
No. You don't want it to bomb, but people start asking too many questions. When you give a set of rules, they start asking too many questions.
I don't read them.
So you just say like, hey, there's a sculpture over there. There's holes where flowers can go. Do what you want.
That would probably be really cool.
And
okay, I want to do that for 2026.
See what kind of piece is made, you know?
Maybe that's the Patty G installation is
maybe
do what you want.
That's it. Do what you want. Tell your own story.
No, I love that idea, but I can't do it right now. I have learned to like chill out and not try to add so much right before. So we're set for this year. But
that's what I'm saying. Like next year, the Netflix cruise will come in.
Are you going to tag Netflix?
Maybe.
I'll DM them. I don't know. Their intern might not be down, but who knows?
Their intern might, you know?
Right.
Say, look, we'll send... Tell us who an intern is. Low-level intern. We'll fly them in.
Oh, my gosh.
We'll show them the gala. We'll show them the event.
Yeah.
So you can wine and dine an intern pretty well. For pretty cheap, too.
They're just like, you don't yell at me. Thank you. Yeah. Right? I love that. No, that would be huge, you know? And it's very Southern. Like, we have, like, our food trucks. And, like, it's very Louisiana, you know?
Well, and how many people are doing a flower fest like this across the nation?
I mean, I've done a search, and there's not anything like this. There's like, you know, Rose Bowl. There's in New York, they do this thing where it's like, I don't remember what time of year, but they just have florists all on the same day, just spam the city with these really cool interactions, just wherever. They could be on a trash can.
That's just an engagement.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's just a city engagement. Yeah, that's not a festival.
But no, I mean, nobody. So.
You're starting a trend here, Amy. Trying to help you blow it up.
Trendsetter. Okay, yeah, that's me. Yeah, no, I mean, it is really cool. And I think that's why we've had such like strong buy-in from like volunteers and people. Because like, so for instance, like the vice president, Kay, she came the first year, loved it. And then she's like, you should do a market. And she launched her business at the Flower Fest. And it just has been incredible. All of her hard work paid off. And she now is the chair and like runs the market and helps with all the approvals and like tells them what's going to work or not. And like everybody's doing this for free. Like this is all volunteer work.
That's what I'm saying. You give them that extra layer of hype. And look, or you just have somebody come out and donate some videography time.
Well, so Fourth Floor does do that. So I might get with Ross after this. So
do they film like the floors?
Because we haven't done the behind the scenes.
Or like the behind the scenes, like them drawing it out. You put together like a pilot episode.
Yeah.
And you send it to all the big people. You send it to Peacock. You send it to Netflix. You send it to Amazon Prime. You just send it all out there.
I love it.
Or you just start a YouTube channel and you just post it on yourself.
Oh my God, I don't need one more thing to do. But yes.
Add somebody to it. Get somebody else on the board. Get a videographer on the board.
If someone wants to join the media committee and help me run a YouTube channel, that would be awesome. But no, I mean, I love, because I could see if Ross could send somebody out to, even if they just go to Eric's where he's got all the installs that are for the like sponsors, to see like the giant octopus come to life and to see all this stuff.
Look, we just found out what function does the time lapse in the camera. Right. You know, so set that camera up for the time lapse of them building an octopus. Content.
Oh, I know. Well, that's why it's a festival that generates content.
Right. And so let's just, then you just pour gas on it. You pour gas on the content.
Wow.
You get year-round content.
That.
And if it's an every year festival, you get season after season. And then you're benefiting St. Jude. You're putting that out there more.
I love that.
And then each episode has a little QR code, scan to donate, you know,
that
all
is
that jazz.
Awesome. And then we'd have more kids come down to come to the like tent and have the weekend. No, I mean, this is awesome.
And then that's how you get your national title.
I know. Like, that's how Lowe's comes on or somebody, you know, some big money. That'd be great.
What if Amazon did it?
I mean, like, I don't know how I feel about Amazon right now. But don't say that.
We're here trying to raise money for kids.
Right? I can't pick my favorites. No, I mean, believe me, I got so much Amazon in my house. I'm a hypocrite. Because I just love local and I feel like Amazon's killing it, you know? But I also realized Amazon and Temu are like the same person. I don't know if you realize that. That's like the group chat. Like I will order it from Temu because it's cheaper and then it comes in my Amazon box. And I'm like, okay.
It's fulfilled by Amazon.
I see what y'all are doing. Yeah.
Fulfilled by Amazon, yeah.
But it's like, they were both listed. It was like $10 on Amazon. It was 12 cents on Temu. It's still from the Amazon factory. They just think they're winning. So I'm like, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of it this year is Temu. But it'll be all right.
So that's That's got to be year 6 for you.
Temu sponsorship?
No.
Oh.
Netflix.
Okay.
I'm stuck on this.
No, I mean, it would be awesome.
Like, come on, like just seeing the behind the scenes creation.
People do love that.
Like, I would love to see, how did you come up with the octopus thing? You know, like, how did you put all that together?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was on the phone and out of nowhere it popped in my head, literally out of like nothing.
So then you just set up. So then, all right. So then we just need a 360 camera on you the whole time.
Wow, how quickly would the show be canceled? It would be great. Maybe like,
no, it's not a live stream. Come on now.
This would be bad.
This is all edited.
I've always wanted the Truman Show. Yeah. Okay. Well, as long as they edit it, we're good.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it is really fun and cool, and I love it. And I get all of my, like, it checks all my boxes. Like, I get to be creative, I get to have community, I get to help people. I get to do something for my state. Like, I want to have a really positive impact. And I felt like doing this the first year was just for fun. And then I kind of realized, wait, like, this could be good.
It could turn into something.
Yeah.
Because it's so uniquely different.
Yes. Because we are known for our festivals down here. But this one isn't just a food, music, or like beer festival. Like, yeah, we have all those. We're not crazy. We're going to have that. But like,
we're not crazy.
Right, we're not weirdos. But it's like, you could literally have a garden club where they're like in their 80s, or like someone who just had a newborn. Like, we've had so many people get engaged because it's beautiful. Like, there's your backdrop.
Gentlemen.
Bring your girl to the Flower Fest.
Bring her to the Flower Fest. Propose in front of something that's iconic to her.
Yes, and I'm sure a photographer will get it for you. And there you go. But no, I mean, everyone likes flowers. Like, and that was one thing last year when I was looking out on like the sea of it, and I had one of my like, I'm going to cry moments, is I just loved like the sea of colors and ages and people with dogs. And like, it was just like, okay, anyone and everybody is welcome here and feels good being here. This is big, you know? And I love that. It's like, it doesn't have, like, when you think of the Flower Fest, you don't think of a certain person or like group or anything. It's just this whole beautiful thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Come everyone, you know?
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Make a weekend out of it. Get some new family pics for really cheap, you know?
Yeah.
And I think people like that. It's like, with the themes and everything, and knowing that like these flowers are built, like this is it. You can only get it there. It's not like you see those selfies in the bathrooms like we were talking about, and people know where they are, but they can go get them whenever they want. Like, you have to come this weekend, or you got to wait a whole year to come next year. And we do have it. It's always the first weekend in April, so it's easy to remember. So when people are there, they can like, or if they're out of town and they see someone, they can book next year. All right, I'm not missing it. You know, they're as crazy as I am, I do put some thought into things, you know.
Consistency is key.
Yeah, consistently kind of crazy, but yeah, I love it. It is it's something I will always talk about and have passion about, I think. And even my daughter, so when she started, she was like 8 or 9, and now she's running the St. Jude tent, and she's 15 going on 16. She's like so excited. So I like that element too, like seeing her get involved and how she likes what she wants to do.
Fantastic. Sounds a family affair.
Oh, it totally is. Yeah, and my kids are helping me with flowers all the time. All the time.
Just flowers year round.
I mean, yeah, or they'll give me ideas, which is really cool, you know, and they're excited about it. And then Emmett, for his birthday last year, he's like, I want all my money to go to St. Jude. I'm like, okay, now I'm really crying, because he was like just turning 9 years old. And that's just because of this. He like has that heart to give, and it's so sweet. So yeah, I hope people see this and come out and see what we're all, you know, all the things that we do. Because it's just, there's nothing else like it. It's really unique.
So what are the dates for this year? It's the first week in April.
First weekend in April.
How can people find out about it? We'll link it all up and all that jazz.
Okay, so you can go to theflowerfest.com, and that's where you can get tickets. You can learn about the honorees. You can see people's outfits from years past, all that fun stuff. You can get them when you can walk up and buy tickets. But I love, there's like a pre-purchase line where you just show your phone, scan it, and keep going. It's just quicker. But you can walk up and buy tickets. The gala will probably sell out. It usually sells out about the week or so before. We only have like 300. We keep that smaller and more intimate. But all that still, you can just go to theflowerfest.com, get tickets, go to our Instagram, all that kind of stuff, learn more, kind of see what it's about. Yep.
Got it.
The Flower Fest LA is Instagram.
I love it.
Yep. I think if you Google us, we exist now. Like, I think we've been around long enough that there's articles and there's
Google's about you now.
There's SEO and all that good stuff. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
organically grown,
Really?
like the flowers.
Oh, I see what you did there. That was pretty good. Maybe you should do stand up.
No, gosh, no. Okay, before we get you out of here, we do have hard-hitting questions we ask every
I
guest.
thought we were done with those.
No, of course not. All right. You ready?
No. Okay.
What is something you did as a kid you wish you could still do today?
A back tuck. Standing back tuck. That would be awesome.
Fantastic answer. All right.
That was it?
That was one of them.
Oh, there's more. Okay.
It's 4.
4. All right. Okay.
One down.
You're going to have to edit that audio. That was real loud. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. All the preamps will catch it. So what are 3 lessons you have learned along this journey thus far?
With the Flower Fest journey?
Or in life?
When you fail to ask someone for help, you are denying them the chance to do that. So it is much better to just ask for help and risk the no than to carry too much when you have people who would have wanted to help. So that's 1. Another thing I've learned, that's the question, right? I would say that immersive marketing and like experiential marketing is where everything's going, especially with the AI revolution and all of that, because AI can replace a lot of things. It can't replace how you feel at something, or if it makes it feel like it's like a one-off like experience that you have to be there. Like concerts aren't going to go away, right? Like AI can't replace that. You can have some really cool interactive meta things, but you want to experience the feeling of being in the crowd and feel your chest move and be a part of something. So I feel like with the Flower Fest, I have learned so much that people just want to be a part of something. And so by creating this festival and this experience, it doesn't matter where technology goes, they're still going to want this. How many more do I have to do?
Just 1.
Oh, I was only supposed to do 1?
No, 3.
Oh, 3. Okay, so I got 1 more. Can I say one of the things I said when you first asked me those quick questions? Do it fast. So people always say don't be afraid to fail. That's like a given nowadays. You just got to fail forward and all those kind of cheesy statements. But I think people get stuck in the overthinking and the over planning and worrying. And often you don't know what you don't know. So just do it anyway. And then you'll get it right the next time or the next year, or like open that business, even though you don't know everything about it, because you're going to learn stuff anyway and change and grow. And if you waited to figure it all out, you're not going to know those hidden things anyway, and you wasted time. So like do it fast, get out there and start, and be prepared to fail. And that's just a part of it. So don't be afraid, just do it.
Love
okay,
it.
That was 3. Yay.
What is something you love about Baton Rouge?
The people. I grew up here, and I feel like we have such a, especially in this creative kind of endeavor, such a community of giving back. Kind of like how I mentioned, there's like a philanthropy cause every other weekend. Baton Rouge is a place where I think the average Joe really would give you the shirt off their back. Like they want to help. They want to see everyone win. And I don't know if every city's like that. We haven't been to that many and lived, but like here, this is the vibe I get, is that we all want to like rise with the tide, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So for the final question, what can I do to help you?
Tag Netflix. Duh.
That's easy.
Yeah. Like we got to put together a whole proposal. I got to get Ross with Fourth Floor to video all this and pitch it. It's going to be awesome.
All I ask is you just reference the clip of us going through and hashing out that details.
Oh, it'll be in the opening like sequence. 100%. Yeah. And then you could just be an honorary, like, forever sponsor of the do-it-yourself wall. It'll be great.
I'm in. Thank you so much for coming today, Amy.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And I look forward to seeing the Flower Fest this year. Look forward to seeing everybody else out there this year, first week of April. Every single year, make sure you check out the Flower Fest. We're going to have them all tagged up in the show notes. But yeah, it's been the Patty G Show. We'll see you here next week.